What is up, everybody? Welcome to Mot Media. Thanks for joining us today. Today is not going to be as long as they usually are. It might, who knows, we may get inspired and just keep ranting and raving. But
No, I got
yeah,
stuff to do. I got
so,
things to do.
so what's going on, Mick?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to MOT number 8. I can't believe we made it this long. It's amazing.
Right,
But
yeah.
we got a good one today. We're going to start off with Ohio news this week. Hope it's doing good. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share it, spread the word. People, spread the love. We got a new clothing shop. It's not going to be as fly as this stuff. We don't have no clothes yet. Or it's not a clothing shop. It's a merchandise shop. We have cell phones. We have mugs. We have stainless steel cups that you can drink water out of and stuff.
Yeah, let's show
You
them
can't get a
stuff.
cool cup like this yet. This might be a limited edition thing. We're not sure yet.
And expensive.
But you're gonna share the shop on
Yep,
there?
right here. So you see that? No, you can't see it. Why can't you see this? I just shared it.
Well, maybe you can put it on the thing down there on the bottom.
Let's try this again. Boom. Boom. Can you see it now?
I see. Yep, there it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Support what you love. Stay ahead of the curve.
I think I'm gonna get one of those mugs for real. Use that on the days when the stock market's closed.
There you go.
I got my special $1 billion cup. I got like a mug I drink out of that has like I think it's like $1 billion like a fake money sign on it or something, like a fake $1 billion bill.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, on this days of the stuff, it's like my lucky cup, but I haven't gotten lucky yet. So,
so it's not really lucky.
No.
That's funny. Yeah, so we're gonna have some more stuff coming out too. Eventually, get some merchandise, some other merchandise in there, some clothes and stuff. Just trying to figure out designs and stuff like that. But we'll keep everybody up to date. But this is the way, one of the ways we'll be raising money to keep doing what we're doing here for MOT, because ultimately the goal is to be number one. Be number one. So yeah, we want to dominate the media industry and do it from a perspective that's rather unique to what the media typically gets. As you can see here, our mission is to strive to provide our listeners with good information, true hope, and solutions that will put them ahead of the curve. Not fear, not lies, not nonsense that's not going to help you. Like, no. We want to bring something different to media. And I think that media in and of itself isn't bad. We make it bad, and it plays on our emotions a lot. And so if we can try to focus not so much on how we emotionally feel, but what we can do to actively make our lives better, which in turn makes our world better, is more important. And the best way one can do that is with the right information. And that's what we're here to do, try to provide you good information.
So let's get that good information going. We're going to start off with Ohio. We've covered recently in the past that the political congressional district maps, they can't draw the maps right. The politicians are having issues figuring it out. They're going back and forth with the Supreme Court. And at this point, the Secretary of State, Frank LaRose for Ohio, said that it is too late to have a primary for all races on May 3rd like they normally would. They're probably going to have to break it up into multiple different races because they just the politicians that are running don't have, they ran out of time to
get the petition signed for them.
Everything. They got to get everything in order. And, the maps are kind of like the guidelines for them to do that. So, yeah, government normally just taking forever, just like how they always wait till the last minute, just like the federal government funding. They're always like waiting till the last minute and pushing it back. there, I don't know. That's probably going to go on forever, but I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to happen across the country. I think across the country we're going to see the deterioration of our voting system.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why they're having these issues is because the Democrats and Republicans, they just can't work together or something. Like
Right.
they're struggling for power so much back and forth. This is why I think that having a third party would be a good idea to kind of like balance things out, kind of be like the pivot in the middle of the scale.
You would think, but then
I don't know.
you would have to have a lot of integrity to be the third party and not get swayed.
Yeah, like you would have to, I can't believe that politicians are so open and the media is so open about what is that called? Lobbying. They're so blatantly open about it. Isn't that crazy?
I don't think
Like
it's crazy.
they're like openly praising corruption.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because the world itself is corrupt. America is very corrupt, very degraded. So, yeah, most people don't give a shit.
Yeah, most people don't give a shit.
So,
but the people who do, make sure you tune in, share this, like this, subscribe. Let's move on to the next thing. So, a city nearby me, Greene, Ohio, is trying to pass a 37-year, $67.8 million bond issue to revamp the entire school system in that city. And that's a lot of money for a little town like that. And but I mean, it's over 37 years, so basically they're just trying to get the voters to approve it. Should be interesting to see what some of the details are of this. Like, are our property taxes going to go up?
They probably have to. I would imagine.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at the bill or anything, but that's how they get most of their funding.
They already have the money like saved up, or what? Probably not, because in that city they're doing nonstop construction, building a circle at every intersection. So I'm sure they're going to need more money.
Yeah, they need to renovate their prison.
I don't know if they have a prison.
Oh, I was saying the schooling system.
Oh, the schools, yeah.
Yeah, the indoctrination camps.
They seem to be becoming less prison-like now that all the masks around the country the mask mandates seem to be being lifted for the kids, which is great. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's good news for the kids.
Yeah, for sure. If you put a mask on your child, that's child abuse. Yeah. That is straight up child abuse. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's weird how they're getting rid of all that.
It's weird.
Well, it's just I thought they would try and drag it on forever, and to me, it's just all of a sudden.
No, they can't. They have to redirect it. They have to redirect the energy. People need it. People need something new, which is the only.
So what is you think COVID's like basically over? The unicorn's basically over now.
It's been over before the trucker conflict. It was over when it started because it was a lie. Jesus, we might get banned now.
I said unicorn after I said the one thing.
Yeah. Well, the unicorn is a lie, so it was dead from the beginning. But now you see the narrative dying. Those of us who saw it from the beginning knew it was dead from the beginning. So, so they're going to just redirect the energy. They get people hyped up. They get this rage. They get this paranoia, which then allows them to implement new things, new laws, new ways of life, changing the culture gradually.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do get actually rid of all these mandates instead of just like, the masks. They need to get rid of the other ones that are more serious too, but we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, we're going to wrap up the Ohio State.
They won't. I mean, you already have to have certain shots to go to certain countries long before this. So they won't. This is just going to be a new one.
That sucks. All right.
I could be wrong.
We're going to wrap it up here with Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, has issued a halt on the sale of Russian-made vodka in solidarity with the Ukraine thing.
What? What if you get Russian potatoes and make your own vodka?
Yeah, what if you have Russian oil in your car? Are they going to seize your
vehicle?
There might still be some in there from, I mean, from what I understand, I heard that we were getting Russian oil like just recently. So I don't know.
Yeah. So it's so dumb. It's so dumb. This whole Russia Ukraine narrative is just so dumb. And there's a lot of people that are actually seeing the psyop right away or the fake.
Some of the videos are
false
pretty
flag.
crazy.
Yeah, you really look into it though. It's like, like we've been sharing in Telegram. All the places they're attacking are military infrastructures. They're not even
Oh
going
yeah,
after
he's not. He
civilians.
doesn't want to destroy the whole country because maybe he wants it or something. I don't know.
No, he just wants. So allegedly, there's a. I don't know what I can say at this point, so we might get banned from this.
Are
Just
we?
because
Are we gonna
there's
skip?
so
Like, I don't want to jump into the global news if there's something you want to talk about national first.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go on this really quick.
Okay.
The freaking
Yeah, you're
I
not
forgot.
sure how they're gonna be because this is a new thing to the censorship. So
Right. So allegedly, there's we'll call a mass killing of people. I'm just trying to phrase that properly. I don't want to say the word. Fuck it.
a
We're
lot of
gonna just
people are getting hurt
genocide.
permanently.
There's alleged genocide taking place on the eastern half of Ukraine, and Russia had initiated their attack, if you will, a rescue mission in the Donbass region based on the information that there was a genocide taking place of Russian speakers and that there were Nazis, neo Nazis, doing these attacks. And that's why they're over there. And Eastern and Western Ukraine have been warring, kind of having civil wars for it looks like a little while. I don't know if there's been like a lot of like actual physical violence war, but there has been tension between the two sides because the eastern half wants to go with Russia, western half doesn't. NATO is over there like, yo, all of Ukraine, come over here. And Russia's like, we don't want NATO. And so, yeah, I mean, you're just seeing a bunch of false flags, and it's all to shift your attention to the collapse of America and you accepting it. Anyway,
So, what's the race of people that are experiencing these hardships on the eastern Ukraine that you were talking about? Because me and you haven't had a chance to talk about this, so I'm not really sure. I
like
know you sent me some things.
Russians, Ukrainians,
Oh, so they're Ukrainians that are Russian.
something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's like gentrification, kind of like what is happening supposedly in China with the Uyghurs.
Kind of, yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're
something like
trying
that. I mean,
to.
I don't know much information on it, so maybe. So I won't say definitely it's like that, but maybe. There isn't much information on it.
I mean, I've heard just may have been from you or something, but where they were talking about how they're like wouldn't let people speak Russian, in
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
areas. Well, those two breakaway regions, in 2014, I believe it was, they voted to break away. So I'm sure this has been going on long before that. And
yes, since the collapse of the Soviet Union, and people are just fear mongering. Anyway, Mike DeWine doing away with the vodka liquor. Who cares? Who cares? It's better for you not to drink liquor anyway.
yeah,
So, I mean,
it's just I just brought it up because it was funny.
no, I know it is funny. It is really funny. And then it's like, what are you going to do? Not let Ohioans have Russia gas? Or are you going to not let Ohioans get any kind of Russian products?
Yeah, what about those little puzzles where they're like, there's a whole bunch of them. Those things
are we going to start outlawing the Russian dolls? The ones that they're like fractals, like little ones that.
The hat that my son wears looks kind of like one of those Russian hats. Like, should I not send him out like in the streets with that? Like, is he gonna?
They're gonna, right? They're gonna think he's like a USSR agent.
Yeah.
They're like, this is secret police. Seriously though, like in 1984, the book, the worst are best, however you think of it. Spies for the nation were the kids. The kids would turn on their parents. Yeah.
Nice.
So, Yeah, your son might be a Russian
Because they
spy.
ask
Dude.
too many damn questions in school.
Right. Well, dude. That's something too. That's something to rant on for a second. Like if you if you have a inquisitive mind, you're thoughtful, you're curious. Public schooling is not for you. You ask too many questions. Even in college, you ask too many questions, and they're like, "All right, you gotta shut up."
Yeah. I asked a lot of questions in school, man. Kids would get upset that they would be like, "Why is he asking so many questions?" It's like, well, because I'm trying to actually figure out what the hell's going on here.
Right.
Some people just didn't give a shit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's kids. Kids are wonderful in that regard, and we kill them out of them at a young age. The schooling system does. The Department of
So,
Education.
yeah, I
But at
mean,
least they won't be harmed by Russian vodka anymore. Thank
yeah,
God.
yeah, they won't be able to. They'll have to drink Tennessee whiskey now instead.
Yeah.
Whenever they sneak away, when they sneak out at night and drink liquor, the kids.
Right.
At least they're not drinking Russian vodka. I wouldn't want them to turn into a commie. I'd rather them turn into a redneck and bang their cousin. Sorry.
Right. Rather than
I'm sure they do a lot of that
vodka.
over there in Russia too. Anyway, what's going on the national side, Louise? Do you have anything for us?
So basically, this is going to tie into the global, and this is an insight that I have that we talked about before the show, and I actually just had this. Best way to figure something out: ask questions. You revealing it all today. Yeah, for sure, for sure, that's true. So this is an insight that I had, and I think it affords a lot of value. I think it provides a lot of value. And so basically, for years now, right? For years, our whole life, Mick, our whole life, we've been told by the media and the powers to be in America that America is no longer number one. America is actually the bad man. America sucks. And there is some truth to that. And this has demoralized the nation in a sense. People no longer care about their nation. People don't care about their societies. They don't care. We see this in the cities. We see this with people not liking their fellow Americans. You go over to Eastern Europe, you go over to a more traditional country, they will. I heard a story that from a podcast, these people that live in Romania, they said that you don't ever see Romanian on Romanian crime. And the reason is when you're out in public, you don't hurt your own people. Like you don't hurt your people, just in general. And so there's a stronger sense of being tied to the nation, being tied to the family. And that's a part of breaking the family is to break the nation because the first nation is the family. And then the greater nation is a amalgamation of a bunch of families. And so the morals of America have been done away with for a long time. And what we see now is this battle of wanting America to be great and trying to focus on the good stuff rather than the bad stuff when it comes to what we've done. Like, okay, so America has bombed a bunch of Middle Eastern countries, messed up a lot of the world because of its police state tendencies. But it's also done good things in the world. I mean, look at the way we live, Nick. We don't go without anything, and most people in America, everybody in America, has the opportunity to have a home, has the opportunity to have food. So there's a lot of things that we've gotten right. There's a lot of things that we've gotten wrong too, and so we're just pointing those out with all the information we have. And so, with all that being said, this polarity between America bad and America good has just amped up the tension. The tension in that polarity has amped up, especially with Trump becoming president, because he started to popularize and essentially idolize, create a god out of America. The branding is what we call it. We make mini idols by brands. And so he has made people attached to the idea of America, right? Like, okay, so let me explain that a little bit better. Make America great again, put America first. Why put America first? Why not put God first? Why not put your family first? I get it. What I just said, the nation is a extension of a bunch of families working together to, with a shared vision of how the world should be. Um, but it is not what comes first. Your family comes first. Anyway, so it's getting people attached to this idea of America becoming better. We're not that bad. We're actually a good country. And so people are now defending America. And so, all that being said, we are now seeing a time where America is being ridiculed again by its own leaders at a mass level. And it's sort of conditioning the mind for the demise and collapse of the American empire. And because of that, we now see the narratives favoring Eastern countries like Russia and China. And by favoring them, I simply mean putting them in a stronger perspective and a more strong. They have a stronger presence based on how they portray what's taking place in those governments that we see, that we have in America. And one way to do that is to instill fear that fascism, communism is coming to you, coming to a town near you because of them. Then the other thing we see is the glorification of Russia and the glorification of China because they are nationalistic. And so you have this increased polarity there that just keeps rising up. It's not increased polarity, but you have this polarity that just the tension, it continuously rises. And so with that, you're training the masses. Hopefully what I'm saying is making sense. You're training the masses to be prepared for the downfall and then have Russia, China take over. And then that leaves an opportunity for strong leaders to take over in America. And those strong leaders are going to become more and more tyrannical because that's what, oh my God, people are going to freaking hate me for saying this as soon as we get more views and stuff like that. But it's going to get more tyrannical because that's what America needs. Seriously, so many people are so dependent on the system. And as a system, that's why communism comes to be. Like, nobody wants to talk about the truth of communism. Communism comes to be because the people want it.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if we need more tyranny. I feel like we need less pussyfooting, though. We need
do,
more
but I'm
real
saying
men.
this. No, you're right. I'm with you. But I'm saying the society of America, in order for it to remain the way it is, and how people like it, you need tyranny as the world descends around you. You need somebody to be like, okay, you think you can just do this? You can't do that. Like, oh, you think you can just come up with a street gang and take over this part of the city and then increasingly take over the local governments, etc.? No, you can't do that.
But that's not tyranny. That's just law and order. Tyranny is like not letting people, hang out in their own house.
No, I was being very light with that. Eventually, you can get to the point where in the major cities, you have so much disgusting things taking place. Like, dude, I don't even really want to go into it too much because it's pretty dark, but some really wicked stuff can happen in these cities, and they already do, but it'll happen on such a mass scale that in order to prevent that from happening, you need to have like curfews, you need to have like police state type shit. And I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm saying that it's just what it is. But as Nick said,
I think that those cities and stuff will eat themselves alive, and they'll eventually just, crumble into the abyss and be reborn into something that is not stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. Like, that's the cycle of cities. Cities collapse, and then they come back, and they collapse, and they come back, and they're booming. They're great initially, and then they become shitholes. And I know that I said that we shouldn't be cussing on this show. We should try to watch our mouth. But this is just how I talk. So we're just going to talk how we talk. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, so basically the whole idea is we've been conditioned to be, to accept the demise of America which will then allow for tyrannical leaders to step in.
Yeah, interesting little side thing. I know you were saying that, it's stupid for the America First thing, because you should put God and your family first. Whenever I was a kid and we used to do the Pledge of Allegiance in school, nobody probably ever heard me say this, but whenever we would say I pledge allegiance to the flag, instead of saying I pledge allegiance to the flag, I would say I pledge allegiance to the people.
You're a freaking
And
communist.
because I just didn't like the idea of me pledging allegiance to a flag. It's like pledge allegiance to the people around me. Try and help. I think that I get from a small age, young age. I've always thought that we shouldn't like worship the state. That we should like be more focused on each other. So yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and I know a lot of people got butt hurt, with removing the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff like that in schools. But why would you, like, don't you see the brain, like, oh my gosh, people are not going to like that. Don't you see the brainwashing in the Pledge of Allegiance? Like,
well, that's why I had to switch it up a little bit. I didn't like like I said, I didn't like the whole idea of pledging to the state. But yeah, man, I agree. I thought it was kind of, I analyzed it as a young person, and I
never thought about it until right now, but it's kind of insane that we used to make children pledge allegiance to something they didn't even understand or know what it's doing. That's insane. And oh my gosh, dude, we might be called treason, traitors. This.
No, I mean, there's a lot of kids who think you shouldn't force children to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call myself a patriot. I do like America. I like the country we live in.
Where else are they even gonna? Who the hell else does the Pledge of Allegiance? Isn't that just like something kids do in school? Like, where the hell else do you do that?
Yeah, that's true.
You don't even do it anywhere else. It's strictly an indoctrination thing. I mean, there is nothing else to it.
Yeah, like nobody wakes up in the morning and looks at their American flag and says, "I pledge of allegiance."
Do they even do it in the military? Like, that'd be an interesting. We need to ask.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, do they even like? Okay, so little quick aside, this is on the same note. This is about the national anthem. A lot of people don't know where the national anthem came from. Mick, do you know how the national anthem came about?
Supposedly, it was what was it, Francis Scott Key, or was that the Star Spangled Banner?
No, you're right. But do you know the origin story?
No, I mean, I have no idea. I just thought that there was like he was on the ship when it was crashing, or that was the Star Spangled Banner, right?
You're talking about the national anthem, yeah.
Oh, which is the Star Spangled Banner? Okay, yeah.
You're a commie for sure. Anyway, so yeah, he was on a ship. Somebody else. There was 3 dudes on the ship, and this was in the War of 1812, a small unknown war that most people didn't really don't talk about rather, with the U.S., Canada, and Britain. The U.S. wanted to take over parts of Canada, like Quebec, etc. And then they got involved with the Britain and French War. I won't go. Just look into the War of 1812. It's pretty fascinating. Anyway, so the people that were on the ship watching, because they went to go like rescue somebody. They went to go get some doctor or something from this ship. But while they were on the ship, there was, cannons flying, rockets in midair. Literally, they were watching rockets in midair, just shooting and missile, whatever they call it. Like, just looks like fireworks in the sky, and they're on the ship watching the battle. And then at the end of the day, when they woke up the next day, they saw that the American flag was still there. And so they were like, sweet, we won. And this was a huge thing, because you have to remember that in the War of 1812, the British burned down the Capitol building. They burnt down where Congress had met. They burnt down the Congressional Library. Benjamin Franklin had to really build back up the Congressional Library from his personal library after that. But
yeah, the Capitol was moved to New York.
Yeah, like
they moved the Capitol to New York City.
Yeah, like, because it went from Vermont, I think, or Virginia, somewhere in Virginia, then DC, then anyway. Um, so the reason I'm sharing this is because when after this celebration that we had won that battle, as far as the war goes, I don't know if there was really any true winner. But anyway, so after that happened and the flag was still there, and they made this song, it became a pub ballad. It became something that people would sing in cheerful, joyous
Jubilous.
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they would sing like, oh, I don't even remember how you sing the national anthem, but they would sing the national anthem in the bars, in bars and pubs as they were celebrating. And that's how it became the national anthem over time, is because it just took the freaking country by storm. And everybody would sing it as they were drunk. Just like people now, there's a good, song that you like to listen to and that your buddies like to listen to. You have a few beers, and that, you just.
There's like a bunch of chicks shaking their asses everywhere.
Right.
The new national. Hey, we might be able to get people behind that.
Right. But yeah, so that's how the national anthem came to be. All that being said, nobody is going to the bar anymore singing the national anthem. Nobody wakes up in the morning.
There might be some guy at a bar singing the national anthem right now.
The new national anthem is God bless the USA. That whole like, I'm proud to be.
I thought it was WAP.
Oh yeah, that also is too. So yeah, like it's pretty funny. But
my laptop's probably gonna die like any second now.
That's cool.
I have an HP. I'll never get one again. The battery's sucking these things.
Yeah, they're not that great. So yeah, like we said, this is going to be a short one today. Hopefully, the insight that I shared with you guys made sense. Yeah, we'll be back here next Sunday. Sorry about the late start, way late start. This is way later than usual. The farm that I go help out at, it's just been so disgusting, the stalls, because of the rain, the snow, and all that melting. And so it's just disgusting and very hard to get a lot of the shit out, literally. And yeah, like I was there for almost 4 hours today, and I still didn't finish the stall completely. Like I got it enough. Anyway, like you don't want to hear about that, but yeah, like the stall, it actually really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. This is why you should help out at local farms, because now I'm literally just getting free milk, literally getting free butter, and they're throwing in some meat. Throwing in some meat. So for free, just for my freaking work. I mean, yeah, it's hard work, but I don't have to pay any money for it. And that why do you get money in the first place, guys? Why do you get money in the first place? To buy your essentials. Yeah. But there is a way to get your essentials without spending a dime. People just don't want to listen to that. But anyway, this is what needs to. If you don't want America to be tyrannical, you have to take more You have to take more responsibility. You have to pick up your own slack. If you think you need money to live, well, then you're supporting a debt-based system. Have a good week. Thank you for the show. Yeah, you too, man. You have a good week as well, Daniel. So anyway, I'm going to be done ranting on that. On that note, much love. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Don't forget to check out the Shopify store.
Yep. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Telegram. What am I missing here?
TikTok, Snapchat.
We're on TikTok, Snapchat. We're on pretty much everything.
Twitch, everything.
We
Facebook,
cover sports, news, crypto, normal financial markets. And
we're gonna be pushing out some other stuff too in the future. Now we got this daily briefing that we do, the morning briefings that we do. There's going to be a bunch more stuff to come. Like, don't think this is it. Like, we are going to be everywhere. We're going to be everywhere, guys.
And hey, look at a gas station near you. Maybe you'll see one of the stickers on the pump.
Yeah, this is true. So,
all right,
guys.
Have a good night now.
Peace.
Stay ahead.